From The Sopranos, Criminal Intense, Law and Order's Big George Bronson, here is your host, Jerry Russo.
That old black magic's got me in a spell. That old black magic that weaves so well. And I slip fingers up down my spine. The same witchcraft when your eyes meet mine. Same old tingle that I feel inside. Start that elevator, start to climb. Round and round and go, down, down I go like a leaf caught the tide. I should stay away, what can I do? I hear your name, I go insane. Who will play with a burning desire? That on your kiss, 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 put out the fire. You're the lover that I waited for. You're the mate, the fate I created for. Every time you miss me mine. Down and down I go, down and down I go like a leaf toward the tide. I should stay away, what can I do? I hear your name and I'm aflame. Burn desire, that on your kiss, put out the fire. You're the one, the one, the one, the one, waiting for. You're the mate, the fate I created for. And every time you miss me mine. Down and down I go, round and round I go, in a spin. Ooh, baby. Loving that spinning wheel on that old black magic called love. On that old black magic called love. On that old black magic called love.
Welcome to Back to One. Do you think you have what it takes to be a star? Well, today you will see and hear people like yourself who have opened up a door to a new beginning. So stay tuned for one of the hottest shows on TV today. We'll be right back to Back to One. Action.
I'm Karen Maxwell, and this is Back to One. I thank you so much for joining us again. This is a show about movies and making movies. And who I have next to me is Rick Borgia. My God, you'll know the face. And you know what I just learned? He's only been doing this 4.5 years. Talk about media and, oh my goodness, what it can do for you.
Karen, it's a pleasure.
How are you? You're looking gorgeous as always.
Thank you.
What are you up to?
Working.
Working?
Always working.
Right now you're working on Lotto.
Correct.
But we're going to get into that another time.
Okay.
All righty? And 4.5 years. What did you do before the 4.5 years?
Oh, was a husband, dad.
Yeah.
You know, just a regular Joe.
Okay. And so what happened that you decided, I'm going to go for this? You have, how many movies have you made? About over 12, 15?
Feature films, about 19 to date that I've had parts in. Some small, some bigger, you know, that kind of stuff. But, and totally, I've been on set about 50 times professionally, whether it was a short film, feature film, you know, commercial.
So you got up one day and you said, I want to make a movie, or you've thought about it for years?
No, what happened was a friend of mine was a videographer, and he was shooting a film, and he told me there was always a character in real life. So he said to me, I have a great part for you in a film. Would you like to do it? I said, yeah, sure. You know, I was flamboyant, and he gave me the director's phone number. I called them. Make a long story short, I went for the audition. The audition was horrible, but they liked my character in real life. So he told me, just take the sides home, memorize the lines, come back in a week. I did that. I went back the following week, and he cast me.
Were you excited to get this opportunity?
You know what? At the beginning, I didn't realize that the magnitude
Yeah.
of what was happening, because it was my first film. It was a 35 millimeter shoot, which is actual film. Now we do videos, and when I showed up on set, it was like a big set. Makeup, the police were on scene, everything was blacked off. It was like, oh my God, what am I doing here?
What am I
But
doing
that,
here?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but and that the name of that film was Life Outside of Pearl, and it was great. And I was on for 2 days,
Hmm.
and I got hooked.
You got hooked.
Yeah.
So then your next step is, so you make this movie, and then you say, I want to do this again.
Yeah.
And you're still relatively new at it at this point. I mean, fast forward, now you're not a beginner anymore.
Correct.
But at this point, going into the second one, you're pretty new. So how do you make that contact for the second time around?
But just by talking to people,
Okay.
I met an actor, Tony, on set of Life Outside of Pearl. He said, "Yeah, go online, do this, do that. Start. You need a headshot." And I went full, jumped right in.
And what's the best film you've made to date?
I would have to say Twist of Fate, which is my own. It's my
Okay.
production.
Okay.
And I have the lead role. I'm the executive producer. I'm the producer, the water boy, the scouting. I did every aspect of the production. Casting, everything.
Hmm.
That was some experience. It wasn't all. How can I put this? It's not all fun. It's work. It's hard work.
Oh, sure, it's hard work.
Hard
And it's a
work.
lot of money, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of expense to
A
do
lot
your
of
own.
expenses, correct.
Produce your own. It's,
Right.
costly, yeah.
Yeah. So that was my best my best experience on film to date.
So how do your children and your family feel about now? Daddy, you went from being daddy to being daddy the actor.
At the beginning they thought I was nuts. It was crazy, of course.
And they feel differently now?
Yeah. Well, they see the transition, they see the work, and they see you progress as an actor. The more obviously, the more you're on set, the better you get at it. And so,
That's right. That's right.
but that they don't know the magnitude of the involvement. What's driving me to do this, to get up and go on set and work 12 hours, 14 hours, and sometimes without food, without eating.
Mhm.
You're just so consumed,
Of course.
in the
Yeah.
character that you're in, and it's hard work. You have to wear the shoes, to know.
Hmm. Yes, that's
know.
very true. So what would you tell a young actor, actress looking today to get into the business?
Just have to do the work. There's no shortcuts. You have to do the work.
And contacts, networking?
Yeah.
Because that's basically how
Constantly,
you
yeah.
started out with a network.
Yeah, well, yeah,
You
you
were
show
invited in.
you have to take classes, you go to school, you meet other actors, and that's how you network, and you start be true to yourself,
Mhm.
and do the work.
So you've basically played the so-called bad guy in different ways.
Correct. I mainly I get cast in intense character,
Mhm.
whether it be a mafia guy, whether it be a killer or a cop or detective. I get a lot of that. It's the intensity that the camera picks up,
Hmm.
and I've been told 0 to 60 in a heartbeat. So I could just
Wow.
switch,
Yeah.
the intensity of my character, and then all of a sudden, and that's what the camera. I think that's what the camera picks up.
Do you have anybody in your life that you feel influenced you to become an actor, like with the emotional component that you wanted to be able, when it came along, you felt comfortable with it?
That's a loaded question. I would have to say, you know what? I was always into films.
Hmm.
Watching Humphrey Bogart early on, James Cagney, Edward G. Robinson. But you know what? What's funny is now that I'm in the business, when I go back and just recently I purchased some DVDs that came out, of the classics,
Mhm.
and I'm watching and it's a different because now that I'm in the business, I can see the difference. That in the 30s there was a lot of stage. Everything is stage, even
That's
though
right.
it was film.
Mhm.
Everything was very bigger than life. You know, if you ever see James Cagney shoots, he'll shoot like this. You know,
How do we shoot now?
Just hold the gun and you shoot. Yeah, you know, it's more realistic. You don't have to do this, you know. You know, get the gun.
Good point. Yeah, interesting.
You just
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
But if you go back to the black and whites of the 30s,
Yeah.
everything was like bam, bam,
Bam,
bam.
bam.
Yeah, but you know, you see, you don't have to visualize going like this. You could just, you know, when you shoot the gun for real, you hold the gun, take it, and you just shoot. So there's a lot of the, you know, the film has come a long way, but unless you're in the business, you wouldn't know these things, I suppose. It's just something that, you know, that reason is of experience, you know, as a person, as an artist.
Okay. Well, we have a little rolling we're going to look at and
Sure.
see, look at your work here, and we'll be back to you in a minute.
What were you, 9, 10 years old? I don't know who got it worse that night, you or me. But you were never afraid of him, not like me and Mom. I remember the logic. Philip's logic. He beats on us, maybe he'll leave the old lady alone. I don't think it worked. It's a hell of a way to grow up, huh? Look at you. Not even 40. I'm the older brother. I was supposed to go first. It's been 1 month and this still ain't sitting well with me. I can't sleep. I don't eat. I'm not a kid anymore either, you know. I just did 15 years in the can. 15. You think that serves as a lesson, but no. You had to mess with the wrong people. So now what am I supposed to do? Walk away? What would you do? No. I still got some things to think about.
We're gonna find them. We're gonna get our money. And we're gonna end this fucking soap opera that the two of you fucking started. Alright? Piece of shit. No, you fucking listen to me! I'm fucking right now! You hear me? You motherfucker! You listen to me! Now, what do you want to do now? You fucking punk! I'll fucking shoot him! Right fucking now!
Twists of Fate, I just want to cry. It was very emotional. I'm really going to try to control myself here. I'm filled with emotion from watching that.
It was a
What's-
heavy duty
But what
scene.
a superb movie, and what superb acting on your part.
Yes.
I'm humbled at this point. It was
Now,
great work.
You know what it is that I think prior to the interview, you asked me a question, you know, in the characters, and
Yeah.
you know what is the correlation between them, and you know what, at the end of the day, everything that I do, it could be 100 films and they're all the same character. Not to say the same character, but you know, let's say we're talking about mob flicks, and you know, I'm the killer. But you know, in every single character has its own identity,
Yes.
and that's the way I take on my character when I do films. So whether I'm playing, you know, if I do 3 films, I'm always a detective. But these are different individuals,
Yes.
and therefore they have to be different, even though they're cops. It doesn't matter. So that's, you know, about 6 months ago, I forget where I was, but something, you know, something stuck to my mind, and I want to share this with you.
Okay.
And you know, when you're acting, you have to wear the character's skin. Think about that. You have to become that person. You have to wear the skin of the character.
At what point do you take that off? I mean, you're in a role, you're shooting for days, you're wearing that for days, you take it out into the world? Or do you
No.
put it to rest a little bit?
You put it to rest. You go back.
And then you go back.
You really can't. If you are that submerged into the character, can't just switch it on and off.
Mhm.
You know, it takes time. I mean, I'll give you for instance, two instances. One, when I did Twists of Fate, and you know, the movie's about they kill my brother, and so 2 weeks prior to the production, I got depressed. I was getting depressed, and I don't know why.
Mhm.
Why am I depressed?
Mhm.
My first production,
Mhm.
my first film as a producer. You know, my first film as an executive producer. I own 70% of the film. So why am I getting so depressed? And I was getting depressed because I was in that mode, constantly going over the lines and studying the lines. That, you know, the premise of the film is they kill my brother, they kill my brother. And it's sad,
Yeah.
you know, when they kill my brother. So there's this anger, and you know, I couldn't, you know, unbottle it. Unbottle, you know, the anger was just, you know, because I wasn't, you know, it had to evolve into the film.
Mhm.
And that's what happens. You can't just switch on and off. I can.
And depression and anger intertwined.
Yeah,
As we
yeah.
know,
And
so-
you know, I understand Al Pacino, which I met. I had the pleasure of meeting him 2 months ago.
Mhm.
That's the reason why he goes back to the trailer between scenes,
Mhm.
because he has to stay in character. He has to remain there. It's just, you know.
It's so rewarding now. What great work. We also looked at Trust Me.
Trust me. Trust me. I'm playing a consigliere, Carmine, and Carmine is he's a tough guy. You know, he's just a back. You know, the way I see that character is like, you know, he's gonna walk in, when he has to. You'll see it when he asks for the espresso. He's there to kill the woman. So, you know, when he tells her, "Would you make me a nice espresso, please?" You know, but meanwhile, I'm there. The backdrop is, I'm going to strangle you. I'm going to, you know.
And to watch your face go, talking to her brother on the phone,
Yeah.
and to watch your face go into this.
Yeah, because at that point she turns around.
Wow.
And that's when the real.
Wow. You wore that so
yeah,
well.
That's when the intent of why I was there came out. You know, in that scene that you've seen the clip of.
Okay.
So that's, and then you've seen
The first one you made.
Life Outside of Pearl. We talked about
Yeah, Life Outside
Prior
of
to,
Pearl.
yeah.
And Pearl is in Haiti.
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 Haiti, correct.
Okay.
Like I said before, that was great. You know, Life Outside of Pearl. I got it because of my Italian. I had luck. They gave me the shot.
Hmm. And it worked.
Yeah, it did.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're clearly talented, amazingly talented and gifted. And
Thank you.
you discovered it, you know, past the first 25 years of your life.
I have something to say about that.
Okay.
You know, it's my destiny.
Yeah.
This is where I belong.
Okay. It feels comfortable?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's. I don't think I could have done what I did, what I'm doing now 25 years ago.
There you go.
You know,
Yes,
because
yes.
the way I, you know, when I show up on set, it's very, very spiritual, very intense. All my characters are intense. But now, which we'll come back with Lotto. Lotto, I have playing Tom Riley, and he's not a gangster. He's not a, you know, he's a regular guy. And so that was challenging to some extent, because, you know, obviously if I'm always playing a certain kind of character, it's easier for me, you know, to just, you know, get into character than to try to search, and now I have to be a regular guy. So there's a transition. And I did this movie, Cookies and Cream. I was someone's dad. So, you know, I could do anything.
Are you attracted to story as an actor? Is that important to you, or is it the character, is the role you're playing?
Both.
Both. Yeah.
Both.
So let's talk about your screenwriting also. Tatalia, you are the screenwriter and the producer.
Yeah. Tatalia, I'm actually the co-writer. It's a screen. It's about there's a mob war going on with the 5 families of the city, and it's actually very violent, and it's also a love story. thriller. So it's an action thriller, which I started writing about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, out of necessity. The same reason why I became a producer out of necessity, to sort of expedite. Instead of waiting for the phone to ring, I figured,
Good.
how hard could it be? And I did
Very
Piece of
good.
Fate.
Yeah.
So now I'm also the producer, and trust me. And Tatalia is coming under the umbrella of Dream Extreme Production, which is my production company. It's Dream X Treme Production. So you could do
okay,
it
catchy.
if you go online,
Okay.
dreamextremeproduction.com.
Okay.
You'll be able to keep up on my work. And 6 months ago, I started writing. I don't know I had the talent, but obviously I do. I have a great script, and Tatalia hopefully will go into production May, June of 2010.
And what's the premise?
As in what?
To tell you.
Tatalia, yeah, it's a mob story,
Okay.
love story. The FBI. It's an action-packed thriller suspense film.
And the name
with
is
a
based
lot-
on Tatalia?
Tatalia is it's based on Vinny Tatalia, which is my character.
Okay,
Yeah, Vinny
Okay.
Tatalia. That's the family of one of the 5 families in the film.
okay,
So that's my next baby.
okay. Look
Gearing
forward
up for
to it.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But getting back to Lotto, you had asked me something before. Did you wanna show the clips now?
We want to show the clips, and that's a great movie that we've been working on with Jerry Russo for a couple of months, and it's taking fabulous. Maxwell, we're back to one. We have 2 of the key actors, the main actors from the movie Lotto. What a movie this is turning out to be. We have Yelena Sablavska, and we have Rick Borgia, and their roles are Tom Riley and Gina Davis. And we're going to talk a little further about this today. They're excellent actors. The scenes that I've seen are just so exciting and so much fun, and there's so much chemistry. And I hope they can calm down a little bit here so we can get through this. Okay, look at the chemistry.
That's the chemistry.
Let's talk about the movie. Tom Riley.
Tom Riley is a character that he has an accident, and he gets involved with the wrong people, and he has amnesia. So at that point, he meets Gina Davis, and that's the movie evolves. It has to do with with a lot of tickets, and some bad characters that are looking for the money, stocks, all kinds of.
All kinds of.
Seductions, right. She's after my money,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, he doesn't know that yet.
Right, of course.
She just wants money, period.
just wants
Yeah,
money.
That's all she wants.
So we have some
And sex too.
yeah,
Sex.
we have
Pretty
some
good stuff.
steamy scenes,
Uh-huh.
some great scenes, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it has been a great experience. I'm glad to be on board.
I can feel the heat as I sit here. It's like so warm. Okay, let's talk about your character in this.
First I'd like to say that I'm very happy to work with Rick.
Uh-huh.
My pleasure,
yeah.
absolutely.
And he's very professional, he's very experienced, and he's more experienced than me in acting industry, so I can learn a lot from him. And Karen is right, we have amazing chemistry on the
Yes.
screen,
Mhm.
and it's very easy to work with him, and I'm very happy because...
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So in some way, he's like a great dancer, like a great male dancer can lead you across the floor.
Yes.
So you find that he's doing that with you.
Yeah, I feel that we feed off each other. And, I've worked with a lot of actors before. I've done theater and other independent movies, and it's not always like this, so I consider myself lucky.
There's definitely great chemistry between Tom Riley and Gina Davis.
That's how we want it.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
want it. So
Hopefully-
you're calming it
hopefully-
down, though, a little bit off screen, right?
Yeah, well,
All
okay.
right. All righty. Uh-oh. Just shut that thing off for a second.
It's behind the scenes.
Well, it's in front now. Let's talk about Gina a little bit.
Okay, so Gina meets Tom in hospital when he has amnesia because he was hit with a baseball bat for
Yeah.
doing bad things in the past. Don't want to give away a lot of the movie. So she meets him and she knows that he has a winning lottery ticket, and she's after him, and he gives in to her seductive nature,
Big time.
big time.
How could he not?
How could he not?
Right?
Exactly, yeah.
Great casting.
Well, me and Gina
Excellent,
have a lot in
Russo.
common. Yelena and Gina have a lot in common in that department. She takes care of him, but he doesn't know what she's really after.
A real objective.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
But in her chase after his lottery ticket, she develops feelings for him. But still, the money takes over her. Greed. Don't want to give him a lot of
That's
love.
it,
Okay.
that's it.
All right. Yeah, we're going to
Right,
roll in
that's
a minute.
Yeah,
correct,
that's
right?
it.
We're
Yeah,
going to roll
right,
in
yeah.
a second here. We're going to roll in and look at some of the scenes from Lotto. But let me ask you about something. At some point, do you ever think that the Lotto, the ticket, is actually the star?
Of the film?
Yeah.
No.
No. You never get lost on that.
Characters.
You think it's the characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because sometimes that happens, you know.
No.
You're right about that.
I
Like
wonder.
sometimes
The objective
The
of what's going on,
yes.
as opposed to.
I think you're right about that.
Okay.
But I don't think in this particular movie that would be the case, because even though that's
That's
the
a really
driving
good point.
force, that it's, you know, because of the money, the driving force is because he has amnesia. You know, the film, and that's what, you know, the story takes a life of its own, because he has amnesia, that all these things are created. You know, because
But look how many things are happening around that damn lottery ticket.
Yeah.
People get hit, people die, people
Right, but-
whatever.
But still, I personally, I could be wrong, I personally think that it's the amnesia that this character has that, you know, that drives the movie. I'm right, because he has a wife, he has a kid, all of a sudden he meets her. So it's some kind of a, you know,
The
it's got a
vixen.
little, yeah, it has a little, because, you know, he falls in love with her.
A shocker.
You know, because you know he's like a little baby. He doesn't know anyone, and slowly he's getting his memory back. But wait a minute, how could this be? And you know, she takes care of him. She buys him clothes, unknown to him that she's really after.
Should be vice versa, right?
Yeah. Yes. In
Yeah.
real life. Okay, let's do our roll in here. Let's go into Lotto, the movie.
Listen, tell me, what do you want?
Look what's coming over the top.
Here he is now.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, my ass. Hello. Tom, we need to talk.
What
Tom.
the hell happened to you?
What happened? Look at me. What happened? Ow.
Whoa, you okay?
Listen, you gave him stocks that was worthless. What the hell did you give him, Tom?
I don't
Please.
know. I
You
don't
don't know.
remember.
You don't know.
This man
Ow!
is under a lot of stress. He just lost all his memory. Please leave us alone. We try to have a dinner here. Romantic dinner.
Romantic dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Romance.
Are you saying we're in danger?
Tommy, I'm telling you. All right, do me a favor. When you're done, dinner, meet me in my room, 1058.
10:58. Wait a minute. Carmine is in 10:57.
All right, let me think for a minute.
Yeah, think for a minute.
What if we check out?
What are you talking about? Who's checking out?
Wait a minute. Okay, listen. I think he thinks I'm dead, man. All right, listen. You
That's
meet him
funny.
at 7 o'clock.
Right.
Find out what he wants.
Okay,
If he brings up the stock, you tell him you want to buy back the stock.
but he said the stock was
What? Worth nothing?
wasn't worth anything.
Well, that's even better, Tom. He's gonna want to know why you want to buy the stock back if it's worth nothing,
So
right?
wait a minute. Is this stuff bad or good?
I don't know what he gave him now.
So who the fuck knows?
What the fuck you asking me for?
What the fuck is funny?
He's out of his mind.
Fuck him. Let's eat. Fucking ruin the dinner here.
Okay, we're back. That was a really spicy
Right.
scene, a love scene with these two on the couch, and they're still. Can't take them anywhere. Okay.
I told you.
What else? What else? So what else is going on in your life? What else? What other movies are you working on right now?
Oh, now I'm all distracted.
Come back.
thank you.
Come back. Come back. We're going back to your life now.
Okay, I was recently cast. What do you say?
Cast.
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 English is my second language.
Okay. Cast in a movie.
Cast in a Bollywood movie,
A
and I'm
Bollywood.
going to play Rekha.
Okay.
Rekha is South Indian icon movie star. She's in her 50s now, and they're going to make.
Nice.
She was in Tale of Love. She was in a lot of movies. So they're going to make a feature documentary about her.
How wonderful.
Yes, and it's gonna be half documentary, half film movie.
Yeah.
And I'm going to play her in her young years,
How wonderful
in
for
her
you.
20s. And it's such a big honor
Yeah.
because she's huge, a
Famous,
star.
yeah.
She's famous,
Uh-huh.
and I was growing up. I saw her movies.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing.
Oh, how that happens in life. How interesting. Yeah.
Yes, and we're gonna have a Bollywood movie stars. I cannot say their names yet, but I'm shocked. Actually, it's such a big honor to play her.
I'm very
And
happy
I'm
for
gonna
you.
be working with her together. She's going to come to New York next month, and I'm going to meet her and
How
work
exciting.
with her.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing. I did a lot of
Wow.
research about her, how she
Elena,
grew up,
that's
about her
great.
family, about her personality. I study Bollywood dancing right now, Bhangra, and
She's teaching me.
Asian to modern Indian dance.
Okay.
Bhangra is more like a disco, Indian disco. It's fast. And ancient, it's more slow and very sensual. So, and I'm studying both of them. I'm so excited.
Oh, I can
can't
see
believe
it.
I grew up on those movies.
Yeah.
Bollywood movies are so beautiful.
Yeah, they are beautiful. And they're very romantic and they're very gentle.
Yeah.
They're very
Yes.
gentle. They more allude to things than come right out and say it like we do here in this country.
Or
They're
show
so
it.
beautiful.
like we
You
do.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm very happy for you. That's
Thank you
wonderful
very
news, and
much.
so look forward to seeing that. And we're going to come back again and talk. When the Lotto
Absolutely.
comes out, we're coming back. We're going to have both of these lead characters with us to talk about the finale and how great everything has been. Alrighty, so let's all say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Our Maxwell, this is Back to One, and this is Street Beat tonight. And we just saw the Apostles of Park Slope at the Brooklyn Lyceum Theater out in Brooklyn, and I just laughed my ass off like I haven't laughed in a long, long time. I feel like I was back in high school in the lunchroom, and the guys just couldn't stop, couldn't control themselves. This is Jason
Casado,
Casado. He's the writer of this fabulous movie.
writer-director of the film.
Writer-director of this movie, and I feel like, oh my God, here's the priest.
Nick Frenny.
And you were just so convinced. I was waiting for something to happen, for something else, for you to do something really naughty.
Like walk on water or
Like,
something?
no, just like, really get into something like a prostitute or something.
That's for the sequel.
That's in the sequel.
That's tonight.
So you all had a script, but there was a lot of improvising?
Yeah, there definitely was.
Okay.
Yeah, some funny lines we came up with. There was a lot of improvising from all the way from the start of just trying to get things going, and what worked we put in the movies. And
So these are the same guys that you started out with this movie?
Yes, from the very beginning. No
From
replacements.
the first rehearsal, more or less, it's every one of these guys. From the first time we had them come into audition, throughout the rehearsals, we didn't change anything. We've been doing this for, 2.5 years almost now. Rehearsals are really long because we wanted these guys to become friends.